This is Kiggundu Dani from TIG Network Africa. Once again, we are here for another episode of the TIG Vibration. And guess what? This time we have a very, very, very special guest. What do I mean by special? I mean somebody who we haven't been bringing of that kind for the previous episodes. So with me today, I have Ritah Asiimwe. She is a Paralympic star. She went and represented Uganda in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics competitions. We are very, very glad to have you, Ritah Asiimwe.
I'm honored to be here too.
Yes. We need to know who is Ritah Asiimwe, because most of the people know Ritah Asiimwe as a Paralympic star who was going to represent Uganda in Tokyo, but they do not know the journey to becoming that star. So we need to know who is Ritah Asiimwe.
Thank you so much. Ritah Asiimwe is born of Uganda, and I've lived in Uganda, and I will still live in Uganda. I've studied and I've been nurtured in Uganda. I've grown up with both my parents, and I've gone through all the levels of education, that is until university, and I'm apparently still taking on a course, a postgraduate certificate, but in the University of London. It's online, of course. So when you say University of London, people think you're from there.
Yes, exactly. I was about to ask the same thing, because University of London,
yeah.
and it's you're here in Uganda.
I know.
So let's appreciate COVID, because it literally, yeah, it has really made a really great advancement.
True. So
Yeah.
I do it online.
Yes.
It's sponsored by the Badminton World Federation.
Okay.
It's a full scholarship.
Yes.
I don't pay any coin apart from data and maybe when in class when I'm needed to be there.
Okay.
So it's an independent study, something like that. I don't have to be in class, so I read at my own time, but I have to do papers in the time they say.
Okay.
So we finished semester 1 and I passed my semester, so we are waiting for second semester. Anyway, that is my education level. So I have my degree from Barra University, and now I'm pursuing another postgraduate certificate, which is that of University of London. So that is upgrading my studies kind of, because I want to have a better paid job beyond. Yes, I'm not being paid right now, but I'm looking at something better for the future, and that is especially when I'm done with being active into sports, I'm just preparing for my future after retiring from active sports and all that. Active sports mean I no longer go competitive,
Okay.
no longer go to the major tournaments like I'm in my sports, but not so active as I am right now. So that's what we mean by a career in sports, the dual career. Like you do sports, you do studies to prepare yourself for another journey in case you're done with sports. What else? Are you just gonna sit home and cry or not? So you have to be optimistic of what comes next. So that's why I did the course.
Okay.
Ritah Asiimwe, I actually been into sports quite active, not so quite long. However, I have a background of sports, like in my pre-primary, my primary, my secondary.
Okay.
I was a prefect for
sports minister.
Yeah, from senior one being an assistant, then to HSC being the head of sports for all the years, and then leadership like that, and then until recently when I joined Badminton in 2018. That's when I discovered Badminton in 2018 April. Then I officially started playing. Is it officially or professionally? Started playing.
I think it's
officially.
Yes.
I started playing for the country in 2019 after the classification. 2019, the journey from 2019 to 2020 Paralympics. The Paralympics was supposed to be 2020, however, we had them in 2021 because they were postponed from 2020 due to COVID to 2021.
Yeah, because the tagline I was seeing 2020, yeah, but they were being held in 2021. Yes.
So they were postponed because of COVID situation, yes. So we had them in 2021. That means it was a very little time for me from 2019 to 2020 to qualify for Paralympics. Yeah. That is a grace that I don't know how it came about, but it didn't happen. Yeah. When I joined Paralympics, or Badminton in 2018 when I discovered it, because when I discovered, I did not go back home to think whether I should or shouldn't. I just started right away.
So you to stop you from there, okay. So you did not even get inquire from anyone.
No.
You just took a quick decision and you are like, okay, I have to be part of this.
Yeah, because I already knew I wanted to be in something active, especially sports, because I really wanted to. But way back when I was in my secondary, I used to have like volleyball, netball, and then running. So in one of the three, I thought maybe I would either be a runner, one of the big runners from the country, or maybe I would play volleyball. But when I left the volleyball, I was like, maybe my energy may not give me that good strength to play the volleyball. But then at least I thought probably I would run for the country or something. But I don't know what happened. All of a sudden things changed, and that was after the accident in 2005. Things changed totally, so it kind of blocked my thinking, my reasoning, how I perceived things, how I saw things. So I started a new journey of life. It took me about 14 years.
14?
Yeah.
Okay, that's too long.
Yeah, it is quite long. I know you were going to ask.
That's really too long, because I really need to ask 14 years.
So you're going to ask how? In the 14 years, I did continue pursuing my studies, of course. Because by that time, I was in my senior six. But I was joining senior six. That was 2005, so I was supposed to be joining senior six. Getting into 5. I probably were in primary something.
2005. I was in, because I was born in 2001. So I was just starting.
Oh my God! So yeah, in 2005, I was supposed to be sitting for my senior 5 when you're just finishing your crawling. Yeah. So after the accident, I went backward bounced. That means I had my HSC 3 years from 2004 to 2006.
How does it feel being a badminton Paralympics champion, I would say? Yeah. And when you go to Tokyo, tell us, how was the journey there?
So the road to Tokyo wasn't actually easy, because financial constraint, being in a country there where we don't have funds from the government.
But I thought most of the times when these athletes go to represent the country, they tend to be financed for everything.
I think you guys look at the major tournaments like the Paralympics, but now we are talking about the journey to the Paralympics. The journey to the Paralympics, because the government gets to know Ritah is going when I qualify. Yeah, that's when they will know what Ritah is going at, but probably most of them don't even know who Ritah is or what she looks like. Because I remember reaching at the National Council of Sports, and some of the gentlemen that were going to Tokyo with us did not know me, and they were like, what's your name and what game do you do? You get it? Yeah. So they really literally don't know you.
I think that's a very, very big weakness.
Yeah.
Because if they get to know why they're there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult journey, but we have, however, if you're strong-hearted and you really determined to do something and want to do something and want to be someone or want to be something in life, trust me, you beat the barriers. You will not know how, but you'll see things go. So when I went in 2018 and discovered Badminton, remember badminton itself is an expensive game.
Yeah.
The shoes are expensive. It has particular shoes. The attire is different. The rackets we use, the rackets we use.
Yeah, at least I played some badminton.
Yeah.
I know those rackets.
The rackets, the shuttlecocks, because I think a team goes for over like 100 something.
100?
A team, yeah, wood shuttle. So we don't have all those equipments. The federation does not have money to facilitate the players, you get it? So you realize you need these things better than you don't have. But I was lucky. The first time when I joined, I got people, well-wishers, bought me things, they bought me the rackets, they got me shoes, they gave me things, when people see you active and enjoy something, they will always be part of you. So that's something I would argue to people, don't be so mean to yourself. What I mean, not being, spread it.
Yeah.
Spread what you do, talk to people, let them know. You never know who comes up to give you a hand. Because so we join.
Let me hope whoever is watching this has noted that. Yes, because
yeah, you got to be open in a positive way, because I mean, every time you keep quiet, who's gonna know what you're up to? Okay, if I hadn't come to talk to you and told you maybe something, would you know really what I lack or something I needed? You wouldn't. So it will be only maybe if I'm like, oh guys, maybe I need something. You'll be like, oh, if you're interested, you will wake up and be like, someone said they were lacking something. Maybe I have this extra. Maybe let me get. You get it. That's how. That's the humanity we talk about.
yes.
I don't have to come and say, well, Danny, give me this. No,
Yeah.
you had, or maybe you overheard.
Yeah.
And you have extra. Why keep it?
Why keep it?
You're not using it. The other one needs it. Just give it. And that's the freedom and that's the peace we're looking for
exactly.
in this world. Like being in the society, helping each other without really expecting any payback.
Yeah, true.
And trust me, you will live peacefully. It is so peaceful.
You see, they usually say that I'm going to link it to
Exactly.
loving somebody, yeah?
It's okay.
Or liking somebody. That when you're liking somebody or when you're interested in someone, like them in such a way that you're not going to expect the same liking back in return.
Exactly.
Yes, and I think it saves us from a lot of disappointments at the end of it all.
It gives you peace of mind.
Yeah, it gives you peace of mind.
You're like, I did it, but
you do not expect.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even when they don't work out, it doesn't work out, you don't feel that bad impact on it.
Exactly,
So you're like, I was giving it a try, so if it's not working. And you're not going to hate the person because they did not
Yes, true, yeah.
because, I mean, it wasn't there.
Yeah, true.
So you also didn't expect that. So, but if you go through, that's why you see so many get overwhelmed with joy. Oh, I can't believe it happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is badminton as a game is very expensive. Probably that's why we have few players, because we are not facilitated, we are not funded, you have to look for every penny of the money to get where. Then I'm speaking of how I got to Paralympics. So it was through friends, through family, and that the fundraisers I got doing into friends. You tell your cliques, you're like, guys, I'm looking for this much money, I'm gonna do this. So if whoever can, then that will help you out. So I managed to do the training. Then that time, Rotary Bugolobi in 2019 was a good supporter. They really supported me through the trainings and all that. So the money they would contribute, I would buy the jerseys, buy what, so it made my life kind of easier, which is not with other athletes, If you're not outspoken, you may not get what you need. That's what I was talking about. Yes, so I'm advantaged with my too much talking. So I even sometimes tell people I think who are not concerned with my issues, but then I end up getting what I really want.
Yeah, because somebody won't come to your rescue until when they know what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. So we go, and then the tournaments come through. With badminton, you have to acquire points to go. You have to do enough travels out of your continent, and every tournament matters, because every tournament you go to, you collect points, and those points are accumulated. At the end of the day, they will know which tournaments to take as qualifiers or not qualifiers, and then after the tournaments are accumulated, you have to be at least you need to be as active as possible. Yeah, you're not gonna sit home and wait, and then as people, sometimes you need to keep on court to be busy, to keep your body in shape, to keep the mind, the body, because it's a vigorous game. You don't sit for a year and wait for one other game until the other game comes, and then you're like, you may miss out on a lot. So I tried to look for sponsors, but it wasn't easy. Basically, I would say I've not gotten sponsors apart from after the Paralympics. So I'll come to that. The biggest challenge is funds. Funds, I think, because most of the times, if we had more money, probably I would have been trained enough. Then maybe I would have gotten a personal coach. Maybe I would be having a physician.
So everything was literally personal.
Yeah, most of the
yes.
time until when I qualified.
Yes.
And that's after the flagging off. That's when we went into the government camp, and then that's when they realized these guys needed coaching. They needed this by in the shortest time. So they gave us a coach. Then they gave us really the care that would be from the beginning. They gave it to us in the last the last 3 months to the, was it 3 months even? I think like a month or two to the tournament, because that was after the qualification period that we got that care. So what I'm saying is, if you want your players, athletes to perform better, don't wait for 1 week, 1 day, a month to the game, and then that is when you're giving them all that.
So you're supposed to.
Yeah, because you're gonna exhaust this body.
Yes.
The body needs rest. As an athlete needs the time of recovery and all that. But then you're coming in at the last minute. You want to give me, because you have accountability to give over the athletes who are taken care of. But that's what I realized what that happens. They'll be like, they will give their report.
Yes.
Everything was catered for. Catered
Yet
for.
in the beginning?
They did not even know Ritah existed.
Yes.
They did not know even the certain game existed until it is given, and like, oh, so this happened. Because I remember even we were not in the speech. There was para athletes were not included in the presidential speech. They were not included in the presidential speech. They were not included in the Mama's speech, the Minister of Education. You get that kind of thing. Yeah, even if you went into that book that was put out during the time we were being flagged off, there's nowhere they mentioned para-athletes. Para-athletes are not mentioned anywhere. Meaning, the people that even take us are still not inclusive.
Okay, so that.
You get it?
Yeah.
Because if the para-athletes are lacking from the president's speech, they are omitted.
Yet they are representing the country.
Yes. Yet we are representing the country, but in the speech, we are omitted.
That's really so.
Yeah.
There's a big gap that needs to be.
The officials may not have realized it,
Yes.
but we as athletes, we did. Because I mean, by the time you write, because we know these speeches are written to the president, they write him these speeches, and they should be coming from the secretary of the
Of course, definitely.
So if you omit para-athletes.
So they were omitted. They
we
were not forgotten.
were omitted. Or we were forgotten, or whatever, I don't know.
There is forgetting them.
I don't know what happened exactly, but we do not exist in that journal that was written of 2020 Paralympic Games. It is only the Olympics they talk about another. But anyway, all in all, we appeared on the grounds and we were flagged off, but we are not anywhere in those records. Apart from they will put in the what is it called, the book that was put out, the journal. Apart from the speech, the journal, yes, you'll find our photos. You'll find, we are there, but the state does not know Paralympics.
That's definitely so bad. So we here as TIG, one of our core values is we try to spread the gospel of what we've been talking about now. Yes, because we shared, as you were sharing your story, you talked about the incident of 2005. Yeah, where you lost your aunt. Yes, and there are many youth, many children, or many people outside there, who have undergone almost similar incidences, but definitely they do not have somebody to talk to them, to let them know that disability is not inability. So what gave you the energy to keep moving even after that incident?
I think I would say the basic would be the family background, especially for us who come from very poor backgrounds. You will have something that drives you, because I mean, if your family is struggling, you lack fees, you lack this, you lack the other. Trust me, you want to be a better person when you grow up. You want to have this thing that you did not have, or your parents were not able to give to you. It's not like you're going to blame them for not giving you what you wanted, but because that's what they could afford, But you grow up knowing, okay, if I could not afford this, if my parents have been struggling with fees with me, then I shouldn't be struggling with life, because they have money. So they have struggled to give me the best they could. So what can I add on to my life? So when I woke up and I was like, no, Rita, I am not meant to be a beggar. I can't start begging because I wouldn't want to see anyone look up or look down on me because I'm disabled or something or I've lost a limb. No, I still wanted to live that perfect life that I've always dreamt of. A life I've seen, rich kids grow up in, they have everything, their brains don't reason beyond their chips and chicken and all that. Yeah. So when you're growing up and you have this rich friend, you're like, when I grow up, I want this. Because you're not going to go back and beg your parents, why can't I be driven home to school? Why don't I have this much money?
So you have to strive and do all that for yourself.
Yeah. So you make sure you have this comfortable life in the future, because you also want to live in a home that is tiled, where everything is glass.
Yeah, definitely wants that life.
Yeah, yes. In the house there are stairs taking you to your bedroom. You have stairs taking you to your bedroom. Yes. You have a separate bedroom from everyone. You have this study studio where no one is gonna be.
Yeah.
Like everything is in its place as you want. So you grew up wanting that because you grew up seeing it with other people, and you cannot have it now, but then you want it. So the only thing is to focus, be determined. But that is your inner fight. That is your inner war. No one is going to be like, Rita, why are you fighting with this? Or no, it is in with you. And you're trying to work towards what you did not have, or live a better life than. If you, because whatever, there's a lot of work to do. Like by the time you go to sleep, you're totally exhausted. You're like, no, when I grow up. I also need to have over how many maids. One will wash clothes, another will iron, another will cook food and breakfast. You get it? That crazy mindset. So if you have that in your head, you're like, this life is not what I want a better life. Yes. It may not be exactly as you dream it, but you will change. You want to change your life for the better. Trust me. You will wake up from your sleep.
So literally, it's literally one having a dream, as long as they have a dream that they look up to.
I don't know if it is whether we dream day or night, I don't know, but that focus, that
because definitely I have a feeling that yes, you're looking at that life, then that means that life is literally your dream. Okay, you're looking up to it.
Okay, that's we call it dreams. Yeah, I don't know. I think we should get a better one for that thing. Because dreams.
I think that's what the president is in the sense that the English is really not rich.
So limited. Yes. You will dream. Yes. And you woke up in the morning, probably you even have forgotten it because you were sleeping. But this is something you're going to be thinking about every minute. You're like, I want to have this. Just like if you're working, your grades are not good in class, you're like, why don't I perform like the other? If we are from the same God, why is the other more clever than? Why does the other one get the things than me? I fail, yet we are in the same class, So that thing that bothers us, that I don't know. Okay, whatever they call it, a dream, which I think we should look for a better. I feel like it shouldn't be a dream.
Yeah, definitely.
It should be something that really we drive to. Okay, so. When I woke up, I'm like, no, Rita, you're not meant to be a beggar, you're not meant to depend on anyone. I always wanted to be independent. Like, I want to be independent. Like, I don't want any distraction from anyone. Just like if we collide, I want you stay there, you collide.
So we see in this generation that we are in, most of the sports people, let's talk about it can start from schools. Let's go down a little bit to schools. You find that most of the children or most of the people who are interested in sports, they tend to face multiple challenges. And one of the key challenges that we have witnessed, they usually starts with parents, that is family. And I really wanted to know on your own, based on your own side, why did your parents, were they so welcome to the sports, your sports life and your sports?
Then that I'm going to have to take you back to the lower classes.
Yes.
Me and co-curricular activities and my parents, my mom would quarrel every.
Would quarrel.
Like she, I don't know. Okay, I think she expected me to have a reasoning of time for books is time for school books, and time for those activities will be time for that. So when I was so much into co-curricular activities. I would be in drama, would be in, would go singing, would go running, would go, sports. I've been too active right from childhood. But when it came to things like going for competition, you'd find, especially when it was closing, I think, to P6, P5, P7, I think she expected me to withdraw from those things and then concentrate, which did not actually happen, because I remember I would come back, I wouldn't tell her we are going maybe for school choir competitions, and then I would come back at night, but knowing my dad is there.
Talking about lower class, which class are we talking about?
Those are like, when schools go to festivals and then we come back late, like, like probably you 8 or 7:30 or 8 or 8:30. To a parent doesn't expect you to be, who is expecting you at home by 6, and you're coming back at 9, and then you're telling how we are going for the school choir competition, which she did not know about. And probably you didn't tell her because you knew she would stop you.
And definitely it would be hard for her to believe.
No, she would believe because she really knew you're part of it. Yes, and she would talk to the teachers. But letting you go to participate, instead of being in class and reading, you want to go and that means you're wasting a lot of time into drama, into running, because there's that time for training. So when people are in preps, you're busy going to sing. People are busy in books, in preps, you're in the Chisawe, Mugogola Malobos.
I think I also faced that challenge because I used to love sports back then. I used to love basketball.
Yeah, because when I remember, like for secondary, we would wake up at 5. If you're not in sports, school choir, then you're going to go slash.
Definitely. And of course you wouldn't want to slash.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you would make sure you're in school choir or you're in sports. Yes. So, but now for a parent, at that time, they expect you to, if it is prep time, go and read. They don't expect you to go into the field to go and clear your voices for the next competitions, no. So most times, but lucky enough in high school I was in boarding, but for primary I was in day, so I would come back home late and then she would call about it, the next day I would do the same thing, because I couldn't see myself miss out on these activities.
Yeah.
Okay, we were not at terms when it came to MDD, sports, and going to competitions, and Ritah is part of that. However, she knew I was into it, but I think she wanted another. I think I would say if I was my mom, it wouldn't be a big bother, as long as, because even teachers make timetable for these things.
Yeah,
so they know when you're free and when you're not free. So if it is time for MDD, they will tell you time to train. And when it is time for exams, trust me, they always give you this month to read and, and understand. So, and then there is class time, during class time, break time, you can always read that, So I think as parents, they fail to, I don't know if they fail or they want to misjudge, I don't know, to tell, like, you want me to practically sit in a book when someone is drumming the other side of Amagunju, then you want me to sit here. When the Magunju is going on, me, I will sit and read it. I will not even concentrate because my mind is like, I should be there. Or even I will find myself going to peep in the window. But I will not read.
But me personally, I think that parents, they would tend to, I think they should change the perspective in which they view things. That is also they should understand their children.
Exactly.
Because never know, because I know there are some children, you're pushing this child. For example, let's talk about when a person is shifting from O-level to HSC. They would love to do this combination, but the parent is telling them,
do this, but my brain cannot even
my brain cannot do this. Yes? Yeah. So definitely, because I'm of a view that if a parent could see that, my child is a good sports person, my child can play badminton, my child can play basketball really, really good, I think they would provide the utmost support. Yes, and at the same time, books are there.
Of course you definitely tell them, time to read, time to exams, do this, you'll get it. But I think our parents are like, no. Books, Sports. Books, music. I think they see you getting spoiled. I don't know how they understand this whole thing, but I think they should. I'm suggesting. I think parents should learn to mingle things. You know, correlate them, let them move together. You know.
That's purposing.
Yeah, because you don't know the future of this child. We don't know. Yes, you're my parent, but you do not hold my destiny. You know. You're gonna do your job. You're gonna nurture me. You're gonna give me the values you expect of me, the society expects. But the destiny, we all don't know. You get it? There's so many I hear of my friends are like, that's how I wanted me to do medicine. I did it and I finished. Now I'm doing my thing. You get it? You see, like, so you wasted a lot of all that time. Yet you had to do something else. But if the parent had given a chance to this kid, if you wanted to do engineering, and then you're forcing them to do nursing. I mean, let the guy go and do his art. Just guide him into that. Yes. Only that. Anyway, I think we lack also information on so many things. So, katomazadi ya bamani chitabo kusoma tamani ati agenda kutusawa. Like so many people who sell these things. Sells the thing 5 million.
Actually, I was, there was a time I got really, really shocked. I went to a certain art gallery, and they were really, I think they were trying to build a certain art piece. Yeah, I was really shocked. This piece was sold I think in dollars, at something like, was it 10,000?
Yeah, this piece is very expensive.
USD?
Yeah.
And really, you have a child who's good at art, and they would really do those perfect pieces, and you do not support them. I think all in the end it goes back to the parents.
I think, and still I will not blame them so much because, you know, they are not all that informed about what happens in the other worlds, apart from a few. These parents who are now in this other generation, the 21st generation, those that have tried.
Which one is called the generation of the millennials? Is it the
yes, the 21st, the millennium generation,
yes.
That we have tried to be open to diversity, like what is happening in the world, what can someone do besides reading too much. Oh, you get it, eh? How can your body and mind and compose you to a different thing and you gain from that? We've seen so many people doing different things and earning from them besides books, you know. I'm not saying go away from books, no, but coexist them. Like in his free time, if he wants to do that, don't force the person to go and read yet. He can go and do his sculpture, even if he's not doing it for paper. But that is his passion, you know. Most of us are living by our passion still, and which we would not know by then that this would be my destiny, you know. So anyway, I think we all as parents need to first get informed, get to know what is happening, how is the world evolving, are we still going to sit home and wait for marriage? Then if you're not married, then you're cast? No. It's not that. It's not the end of the world, you know? Yes. Because if we all understand, like, we have different times of things happening, you know. We are not going to get married.
Yeah, true.
And so many have been forced into marriage and in a week they are out.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
After spending all millions. If that child had told you this is not my destiny, because for you want the society to praise you, all my children are married. Yeah. But meanwhile they are there suffering. No. That liberty, I think there are things we can leave to God to decide. We don't force them. I think that is what is bringing too much problem of you force someone into something and then that is not the destiny. And all of a sudden you start regretting. Why wait to regret yet you really knew? I think we are being driven by society, what society expects of us too much. Like some of us are pushed beyond our limit, like Ozaladi, when are you giving us children, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, let this person take time. Children will come, because I mean, did you know they would live up to that stage? You didn't know, it's not your take. Yes, they have grown for you counting numbers of age, but I mean, they have things to do. We've seen guys who were like, I don't know, that wasn't my call, but my parents wanted me to get married, to bring a wife at home, so I did, and now That's not my... You know, when we don't tell these things to our parents.
Yes, we do not, but...
Yeah, but back when we discuss the things and you're like, okay, so why wouldn't you? And it's like, no, they wouldn't let me tell them. So I did what they wanted, and which is not good. That is wastage of time, wastage of resources. You traumatize. I mean, you're creating a diversion that wouldn't have been there. That thing that someone is not going to tell you, I don't like this, but yet in their heart they are listening to you. They're looking at you, but their heart has something different.
Yeah.
When you tell to me, I stand and go do my thing.
Yes. So I call it my last question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years time?
The 5 years, I will still be doing my sports because I'm. How many years are we to 2024?
2024, we have just 2.
2 years.
Yes.
So within these 2 years, I'm concentrating on training and doing the sports tours as tournaments. I mean, not tours, but tournaments. Okay, they are tours, of course. I have to prepare myself for 2024 Paralympic Games, which will be in Paris. And then also, in the same time, I'm still going to be pursuing my course, because it's a 5-year course.
Oh, it's a 5-year course. So literally, I should have said 10 years time.
No, by then, by those years, I will actually, I never want to, because I don't know how strong I will be then, but I'll still be in my sports. And probably, if by God's luck or God willing, if I get the money, I want to have my own foundation, help out my friends, my colleagues of the same games, see how I can improve the games back home. Yeah, so that's my goal. I think I'm just a little bit constrained by finances. You cannot start on something and you won't be able to fund it. So
as long as you have the dream. Oh, we said we should get another one.
Yeah, we're gonna look for another one.
But for dream.
Because dream doesn't look reality to me. So dream. Okay, you dream, but you're not gonna. It is very rare to have the same dream if you sleep. Okay, literally in reality.
Today you dream about food. Tomorrow you dream about what? They're very different things. So
So I think my goal right now is to see how I can help my fellows. I don't know how, but that is my goal, my target. Even if I'm still an active athlete, I still want to put a platform where my fellow athletes feel good about the sport they are doing, be able to access the things, the facility. We don't have facilities, we don't have, we have no facilities and we are not facilitated. So you find it's lagging the whole game behind. So in the next 5 years, I wouldn't say I'll have done anything so big because I don't know when money is coming through. Because it is really a lot of money. Because personally, I'm still looking for money to do my tours. But right now, I'm looking at we are hosting actually. We are hosting Uganda International from 11th.
11th of this month?
I think it's all Africa Championship first. From 11 to 19, and then from 20th to 24th.
Okay, where is that going
It's
to
going
be?
to be in Lugogo.
Lugogo Cricket Club?
Yes, Lugogo and MTN Arena. So, guys, come and support. Okay. You cannot really know what happens if you see. That's how I realize humanity will learn things.
Yes. So guys, please endeavor to come through Lugogo from 11th to
24th. So any day of that time, you come and see how these sports are played and how can you improve these players. Because you could be individually, it could be a company. Come through, watch, see how these things are done. Do not mere say, because that is the only way you understand what you're going to invest in. Because Ritah, I'll come and say, I'm looking for over 50, 76 million to do these tours. Or then you judge me. How can she put all that money in the tours? She does not even have where to sleep. She's still renting, you know. Okay, yes. Because I am thinking, still, I'm not gonna have it if I wasn't going to play, you know. So this is for a cause, for me, for my country, for my other people out there that feel like it is the end, you know. My whole reason for staying in the games where we don't have enough payment, ng'ogyeko facilitation gye batwa ya Paralympics tukyayinze
after.
Yo yajja nga tugenda mu Paralympics nga ziri ngeri season yewedde. Of course bwezijja obako n'ebyetaago ate era zonna you're not going to get that money and put it into training because you have other things to cater for. So I'm requesting people come through, watch these talents, see where your other child, your friend's child, your neighbor, your other, how can we get this thing evolving, and how can we get our societies improved? And because society is not Bitoke, houses and trees, no. When we speak of society being improved, is how is humanity being improved? How are we living in a better world? And who is going to change this world? It is me and you, you know? It is me and you. So when you come through and watch how these people play, what happens, if you see someone in a wheelchair, playing badminton against another opponent, you'll be amazed and you'll be like, oh, so having an accident or being born lame is not the end of it, you know? So my child can do this too. Omujje mukisenge, muteke ground ku court, let them come and play with the rest of the other kids. If you see someone walking with the sticks, those walking sticks, sticks, and playing, you'll be mesmerized, wondering how they do it. I mean, that is the whole thing of opening our minds and opening the whole society to knowing that there's something better that can be done to make our society better. That would be the reason they should come. I'm calling them to come and watch.
Me, I'll definitely be there. Kati, whoever is watching, please endeavor to go there. 11th to 24th, yes, 24th at Go MTN Arena. So as we close up, thank you so much for being part of it. Is there any other thing that you would like?
Yes.
Oh, by the way. No, but then there was that. Together navigate your fair.
After Uganda International, Trina World Championship.
Yes.
World Championship in Japan. So World Championship, it's supposed to be sponsored by the government. True. Naye engeri government yange gye nkuliddemu buli lunaku nga mbadde ina ssente. Kubanga federation yajja kukola ogugwe ateekeyo ekibaluwa ekisaba funds. If National Council says we have no money, then that means the players are not going to go anywhere. So me, as always, I never sit back and wait because I don't like being disappointed, yet I knew it would happen, and then at least I try and do something. So right now, apparently I'm doing a Fund Me project, but I'm doing it a one-on-one, whoever can, whatever you can. Like yesterday, I met my friends in Entebbe, they really tried to get me something. There is another group of the parliamentarians who play in Gogo, they're also trying to get me something to make sure that I get this money, because I'm looking for about 18 million or 19 or 18 and a half to go to participate into this game, of which that 18 million carries accommodation, ticket, the flight, the COVID tests, you know, all those things that are needed, upkeep, you need, of course you cannot travel without, I mean, you need to shop some things, you need jerseys, you need to look after your body, you need to stay eating good, you need, to keep your mind and body in shape. So in concrete, it is $5,000 US.
$5,000 US, that's approximately
around 18 million. Yeah, around 18 million. And also after that, so my qualification year, World Championship is part of the qualification tournaments. That's why other reason why we can't miss it, and it carries double points. Okay. So if we participate, that means I am securing my position as #1 Africa. I'm also increasing on my points, and we are having a better chance to participate as the country into the Paralympics 2024. Though I've also tried to estimate for next year's tournaments, though the calendar will be out by December, of the tournaments that can be. So conclusively, I'm looking at around 70-something million shilling, Ugandan shilling. 76 something million shilling, 76, 78. That is for about 6 tournaments. That will be next year to 2024. So I have my numbers. I go, so maybe I can read them. My numbers.
You can definitely share them.
Yeah, in my account in case anyone wants to help.
Yeah.
So okay, this is the whole thing. I did it. So I'm looking at 21,000 US dollars. 21,000 US dollars.
21,000 US dollars, that is
yes,
okay.
For the season that I'm to complete to 2024 Paralympic Games. It's a million in Nsamvu Mokaga. Uganda.
So you can share the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my account in the names of Ritah Asiimwe is 90 300 20 36 06 73, and then I repeat it is Stanbic. It is 90 300 20 36 06 73, Stanbic Bank, Ritah Asiimwe are the names. And then those who would want to use my mobile, 0774 03 72 00, and then 0702 97 21 72.
Okay.
Get a bit of Muluganda.
You have to cater for all audiences.
Kati account yange ya Stanbic eri 9 3 2 9 3 2 3 mukaaga katonyeze mukaaga 73. Is that how they?
Yeah, you're
they read the Uganda zeros.
Yes.
Then numbers esimu abandi agadde okuyisa ku mobile money eri 0 notes musamunya noti 3 7 not. Then endala eri noti musanvu noti 2 9 7 2 Mumanya gange Ritah Asiimwe.
Okay, definitely. I hope everybody who's watching, you've taken note of those contact details and those bank details. So it's been really a good time having you on the team.
Clearance nina kusasula participation inga 15 guno mwezi September. So kulyampereza kyandibadde ne tutalinda November ebera kuzanya kwa November genda kubanga lumu mpaka nga mukaaga. Yes. Then kati tuba tulina clearing those accommodation abichi before. So nga by 15 guno mwezi nyina kubanga confirming nti nja kukola ki nja participate nga teka tawonetaga dollars nga 3 obanga kati kamne emitwalo 2 ezigwamu. In Japan. Ninga nekirala ndyagadde okwebaza Badminton Confederation Africa. Nti yampadde leero bavuddeyo yampadde okugenda okutraining Spain weeks 2 okwetegekera empaka ezo. So kiba kya buswavu okwetegeka. Kiba kya buswavu okwetegeka ate n'otagenda kuzanya kuba basuubira nti ensi ye bejja kukola ki osasulira ovule. Sikyagala disappointment otukali abagamba banaye tusonyiwe sente government tetulina sente tezavudde banaye simanyi sente za government zose ziraga naye badde nsaba omukulembeze nga bwabeera nti awaba parliament sente bwaba gasobodde okuwa omuntu omu obukadde 5 agule emmotoka.
Yes, let's putting again the same money into sports.
Ebitaano ebyo bisobola okufacilitatinga tiimu naffe atuweeyo kale wakiri ebbase mwagambe bino ebitaano byakuno omwaka. Ebitaano ebyo biba bisobola okufacilitatinga tiimu kubanga tuli abantu bangi yadde kati noonyanganze naye nga tiimu weeri ewera tulindoza bannabi tulinga abantu nga 9 abagenda. So kati bwebanga kampani ng'esobodde okuvaayo netukolera kyesobodde twetaaga emijoozi twetaaga engato twetaaga ebyokuzanyisa twetaaga twetaaga okutraininga then twetaaga facility and the facility ng'eri facilitated. Obakitegeera
Yes,
nti batuwe ennyumba batuwe ne bakooki bakooki kitegeeza nti bagenda sasula bakooki naffe abazanyi twetaaga ne koka allowance tulina abewaffe abokulabirira kuba ekintu kino bw'osalawo nti kati kankole kino ogenda kwesonyiwa ebirala nti Ritah sikyasobola kgenda nti ntuule mu ofiisi nkole kuba nyina okeera okutraininga saa 2 zirina okunsanga ku kisaawe oveeyo saawa 12 ewaka ogenda lyaki omwezi rent ogenda musasuza ki tuba tusuubira nti gavumenti egenda tuteeramu tuteereddemu ensako egambe federation banaye abaana mubawe allowances izo era bwe twogerera tumaze emyezi 2 mu training naye batuwoleza sente tezinajja facility ky'abaana balina abaana bokulabirira balina families balina kyo bakitegeera nawe ng'omuntu weetaaga okwerabirira oba weetaaga kasente balandiroodi beetaaga sente kyekikyasinza okulemesa emizannyo gy'e Uganda nti oba ku kooti n'ojjukira olina ogenda okunoonyeza okulya olina ogenda okunoonyeza okusasula landiroodi oba kitegeera noba nti obwongo bwo n'omubiri tebiri prepared enough bibeera mu kweraliikirira buli ddakiika naye nga tonga omuzannyo aba yeetaaga omubiri n'obwongo nga biri mwamu nga bimanyi nti mulimu gwange kuteekayo maanyi muzaale kinetaaga okuzaala kitegeera kyekyo kyeŋŋamba baveeyo batuga then kaneebazeko ne Fly Express yavaayo bambi nenyambako ka transport nti transporting okuva Entebbe okudda Entebbe okujja okukola training zange aba Fly Express Travelers Association mbeyanza nnyo mbeyanza ddala bebano benyambadde era obalaba yes so kati company zibe zitandika okuvaayo ne zituyambako kintu ng'ekyo osanga nti maybe association kyanimpadde nga transport kati ate kenkwata nenkusasula ki
ate kibazaamu n'amaanyi
nekituzaamu n'amaanyi nti omuzannyi amanya nti wali abafaayo so sirwanirira nze nzekka yes nze wetuzanyidde bagamba abazannyi mwe mufunamu naye ate yes nfunamu naye ate neggwanga lifunamu banaye tukkirize tugaane nfunamu ng'omuzannyi naye ate naafunamu ddi nga sisasula kwanza omuzannyi nalibadde nga nfunamu nti singa nsasulwa naye sisasulwa oba kiraba nti akasiimo kogenda okumpa nga mmaze kuqualifying okgenda mu World Championship oba okugenda actually ne World Championship kubanga negye twasembayo ogenda tebantusasula allowance waffe ne tukimma amazzi ne tusirika nga twesasulira air ticket twasasula visa osasula ne allowance nebula oba kitegeera n'oteekamu ebintu gavumenti yandibadde eteekamu situganye kale nikaka tuyinza okunsuubira ngenda kujja wa sente zoto bw'oba nsasula allowance nsobola happily nensasula ki visa yes ate saagala era abazannyi bagambe sijja kikola kuba gavumenti tekoze ekitempadde kuba naawe ng'omuzannyi okirina pride gyekikuwa confidence gyekikuwa kikuyambako okuba ne self esteem ne mu public oba owulira ng'owera exactly siraba lwaki oba olinda gavumenti yo tujja gifulumirira tugikoolinge tukole ki naye nga naffe ng'abazannyi osigala opushinga ekintu kigende mu maaso naye nga kyekyo twetaaga obuyambi bw'amaanyi nnyo nga abazannyi ba Badminton oba para athletes ffenna okutwaliza abamu nti associations zino weziri naye tezitusobola kutufacilitatinga kuba nazo zirinda ssente eziva mu gavumenti kati gavumenti bwe baterilizinze oba kale waliwo saga gye mbampuliraawo gye sitera kwagala kubiriivinga ssente bwe baba bazitadde zituuka gye zirina okulaga bw'oba olidde lya ng'omanyi nti gw'oliridde ate yakuleetedde okulya so muweeko tomumalirawo nakumulaga nti yo nothing yetolira ku ye omusaala gujja because waali singa omuzannyi tabaawo kati ate oba ogenda kumanaginga ki yes let's have humanity yes you're my president my sports president you're my federation head you're my but omuzannyi ono gwolowooza nti omuyamba buyambi because kyendabye mu attitude z'aba leaders betulina mu Uganda naddala aba sports abanga agamba omuzannyi ayamba muyambe yes oyinza okuba ng'onyamba nompa skills naye ate nawe tewandibaddewo omuzannyi w'atali actually the biggest asset here is the muzannyi kubanga me I can be omuzannyi nga ngenda ku YouTube nenjako skills ne trainings oba kitegeera nti gwe coach w'oli yes nkwetaaga naye ate omuzannyi tomulabanga nti oyamba muyambe no ate bwe tunaayiga okugamba nti ffenna tweyamba then we shall respect each other ojja kwesanga nga naye n'abatutwala abakanso oba abagavumenti bamanya nti bano abantu beetaaga okuyambako kubanga kyebakola naffe kituyamba nga abakulembeze. Naye gwe omukulembeze ne bakuwa ssente z'abazanyi zonna n'oziteeka mu nsawo ye n'osasulira abaana bo fees n'obatwala ebweru n'ogenda mu zivakation n'ogula emmotoka kyokka nga abaana bofunirako ssente bali wali tebalina na kye baliisa beewaabwe.
There has to be a bit of humanity. So thank you so much, Miss Ritah Asiimwe, and katusubire obubaka butuse tebwinotuuka, and anybody who's watching this, and you are definitely responsible, or you can at the same time give a hand. Please endeavor to give a hand. Hope you noted the account details and the phone numbers. It was really a very amazing interview, and actually I'm so sad that we have to close up now. I was still enjoying it. Yes.
I'm also happy that you gave me a platform to come and express my emotions. You know, I am glad that I'm in sports, because sports is one of the grounds where you express your emotions.
Yeah.
And this is a ground where you learn a lot. You learn a lot. Like, you learn how to change your life. You learn how to discipline yourself. You learn a lot from people. Just like Serena says, what is in me is in you. So you just have to go there and put it out. But also remember to respect everything and everyone around you. So I am grateful to be in sports, and I'm grateful to have met you guys. And thanks to you guys, the media, for giving us always a platform to air out our issues, because that's the only way we can reach out to the people we wouldn't be able to reach out to. Because reaching to the parliament and talking to a honorable who you're supposed to talk to, yes, I've spent quite some time looking to talk to Honorable Nabanja. It's not really, every time I get her, they get the job when she's gone out, and then I'm like, okay. So I was lucky, then I got her number, and then she told me to go through the minister, so I'm waiting on. There are people who are giving in a hand to push these things. I am praying, if Madame Nabanja has really received my message, I'm requesting her kindly to reply before it's too late, because we really need her. And I'm actually inviting the stakeholders to come on 11th and 24th, up to 24th, to come and watch these games, so that they don't just imagine abalema tebalina kye basobola nga bwe batuyita nti ubalema. I mean, that statement really hurts. I've had our fair heads say it. Ogamba balema. Like, it sounds weird. You're the one, you're heading me. You're the person that I should be getting strength from, and all I hear is you rubbishing this person because of their status, and then you come back to me and smile as if you didn't say anything wrong. Of course, I'm not telling to you, I may look for the right way to give it to you, but I may not be able. But I think we need to respect these people, however the status, because we all don't know. I wasn't born there. But I mean, we never know what would happen. You don't know what happens to you, you know, or your child or your friends, or, you know. So we just have to respect each other in this life. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ritah. Everybody who's watching, once again, we are still on the TIG Network Africa. This is the TIG Vibration. Thank you so much for watching. Please always catch us on the TIG Vibration. You can follow us on TIG Network Africa. That is our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, TIG Network Africa. You can go and follow us on Twitter, TIG Network Africa. Everywhere, TIG Network Africa. Yeah, we'll meet next time. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.